Today in the Toyverse, folks, we travel down a dark and dirty road. We travel down into Batman v Superman's Dawn of Justice Knightmare Batman. This was probably one of the most confusing parts in the movie for many people. Personally, I loved this scene. Batman was down and dirty. He was gritty. He was ready to kick butt and take names and chew bubblegum, as a great man once said. However, I'm not here to discuss the movie. I'm here to talk about the figure. This figure is tremendous, to say the least. It's got some awesome things going for it, so let's go ahead and break it down. Batflick here has an awesome sculpt to him. I'm really digging this head sculpt. I would have liked the glasses, or not the glasses, the goggles, excuse me, to be removable, but there are options for that, which I will explain a little later. But the head sculpt is very nice. I appreciate the detail they went with it. Let's see if I can bring a little more light here. You can see it a little more. As for the jacket, it's got a nice brown paint to it with great washes all throughout. Maybe even a little dry brushing. It just really brings out the detail. Mafex has done a phenomenal job with this thing overall. I mean, you got these great details here on the gloves and the gauntlet with the tape. Done very, very nicely. The little details I really appreciate. If I bring it up to the torso, you can see the Bat logo here. Done very nicely. This Bat logo is actually bigger than the one on the standard release, and I'll bring that back in a little bit. But I really do like this, and it looks like we got some bullet marks there, which is very cool. And the details on the suit are awesome. I mean, look at the details here on the belt. For an import figure, this thing really goes all out, and I'm digging it. You got the strap here, which is very nice. It's a soft goods piece. Then he's got his military style pants on. Sculpted pockets even. Sculpted knee pads here. Very nice. Got his gun in there, which is removable. How cool is that? Bam. Gun holster looking very nice, if I say so myself. Bring that in so you can see it a little more. And then you got his boots. So, yeah, I mean, Mafex has really knocked it out of the park with this guy. Very happy to have him in my collection. Now, I do have the Mezco one on pre-order too, so it'll be nice to do a comparison later on down the road talking about this guy yet again. We aren't done talking about VBS, not by a long shot, folks. So, while I have the figure in my hand, let's go ahead and talk articulation. In terms of the head, if it doesn't pop off on me, the head can look up that much. It's on a double peg system here. So you got a ball peg in the neck, and then you got one in the head as well. And I did that backwards. So, yeah, neck can look up, it can look down. It's again, it popped off, which is okay. It's not broken. It's one of the downsides to Mafex figures. The joints can pop out easily. But I like the double peg system here in the neck. It can go side to side, 360, as you just saw. Wasn't the way I had planned it, but oh well. So a really great range of motion here. There's some gappage in there, and I think that's to hold one of the accessories in a little better. But it's still nice. It doesn't take away from the sculpt at all. In terms of the upper body, we got a diaphragm joint here. It can go forward that much, and it popped out again. And it can go, and there goes the head. And it went back that much. And then we have a lower ball peg here. So you can get the costume to go forward and pretty far backwards, which is very nice. And it can go 360. So definitely a lot of posability options, especially in the upper body. Jacket doesn't really hinder things too much. Would have been nice to have, I guess, something in here to make the tail flaps work. But, I mean, it's a soft rubber piece, and so it's not the end of the world. In terms of the arms, we got a ball peg system in here. There is some gappage as you move it out. It does look a little ugly, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's an import figure. These things do pop up on these things all the time like this. But it's got a nice range of movement here. It's almost like a butterfly joint. So you got forwards and backwards action there. And you got an upper bicep cut, if that's the proper terminology for that. It gives you great range of movement there, as you just saw. No lower bicep cut, but we do get double jointed elbows, and they even did sculpt a little bit in there, which I can appreciate. No forearm or anything. We do have a no forearm cut, I should say. We do have a ball peg at the hand. It gives you full 360 up and down, side to side. So that's very nice, and he's got different hand gestures too, which is cool. In terms of the lower body, can Batman do the splits? That much. And then if you pull the thing down further, you can even get a little more split action on your Knightmare Batman. You do have an upper thigh cut here, which houses the ball peg. Double jointed knees, and you got some sculpting here on the double jointed disc right here, which is nice. No boot cut, but we do have a ball peg at the foot. It looks a little ugly, but it's not the end of the world. Now you get up that much, you get back that much, and you do get some ankle pivot action, which is nice, and you do have a toe hinge. As far as him kicking forwards, he can kick up very high, and he can go back quite a bit, but it does look a little ugly. So, yeah, articulation is fantastic on this guy. Let's go ahead and pop his head back in, if I can get it back in. Work with that ball peg here. Pop the neck back in. Boom, you heard the sound? That's the sound of love, folks. So yes, that covers articulation. Let me stop the video right here, get everything set up, and let's talk about all the wonderful accessories this guy comes with. Alright, let's break down accessories. I'm going to break this down a little differently. Let's start with the hands. Batman has a ton of hands, folks. We have 6 sets of hands for the Knightmare Batman figure itself. We got everything from open, relaxed hands to trigger hand to fist hands. I mean, binocular holding hands. The Mafex, has loaded up the accessories in the hands department, and that's something I can really appreciate for the price point for this figure. But if that wasn't enough hands, you get additional hands for not only your Superman figure, but your armored Batman figure. And what makes that cool is the fact that the armored Batman can hold the kryptonite spear that is also included. This thing's got great detail. Kryptonite looks great. The staff itself looks nice, pointy on the end. And it is made of plastic, so it's not super heavy or anything. And the cool thing is, it breaks off in half for easy storage, so you don't break it. The only thing this spear could have done to make it even more awesome, here's a close-up of the spear, is to have it have LED lights. Now that's asking a lot, so it's just wishful thinking on my part. And the cool thing is, with those armored Batman hands, if I can get it to work here, off camera, alright, sorry about that, folks, is that he can hold it in place. Now, I don't have my armored Batman figure out, but it can hold the kryptonite spear. And like I said, it does look very nicely. Let's go ahead and move those hands out of the way. Let's talk about the last set of hands. Right there, we have the Superman hands. Now, I also don't have my Superman figure out because I think it's a very ugly figure from my point of view. And the cool thing about that, and I'm going to do this off camera again, and then bring it back in here, is that those hands can hold this awesome Batman cowl. So, I mean, the hands had that nice orange Donald Trump-like tan to it, but the cowl is very nicely, and I appreciate the little detail in that, and the fact that they even included that. So, very fun options for your Knightmare Batman to interact with Superman. So let's just move the hands out of the way here. And let's go ahead and talk about the 2 other heads that we have here. The first head I am going to speak about is once again an armored Batman piece. And that is the broken down mask from the fight, or helmet if I say it correctly. Very nicely done. sculpted and painted. You can see Ben Affleck's face in there. It's done very well. I appreciate that, if the camera will work with me here. So, digging that very much. And the other head, if I can get it set up right, is the Batfleck head. Is it a perfect likeness of Ben Affleck? No. But it's good enough for an import figure, in my opinion. The likeness is there, it's just not perfect. And the cool thing about this head is that you can pop off Knightmare Batman's head. Boom, just like that. And right here on camera, after you see my hand, is we can put it on our Knightmare Batman for, once again, interacting with the Superman. So very, very cool. And you got articulation, you know. It's a little more limited, but you still got great range of motion. Only downside is there's a big gap right there. It kind of looks funny, but in the right pose, you can make it work. So very nice that they included that. So let's go ahead and talk about weapons. Alright, here are the weapons that Batman comes with. And yes, I'm including a scarf as a weapon because I did not put it in the proper spot. So, scarf is made of a soft material. You can just place it over the head. It'll work fine. You have the pistol here. Nice detail here on the handle. And it's just molded in black. You got binoculars with soft goods for the strap, which I can appreciate. And not really much paint on it, but it does have some sculpting on it, which is very nice. And then we have the gun. That's right, folks. This Batman in this dream sequence has a gun. It's molded in a lighter plastic, and you got some dark parts on there. The Joker card is painted very nicely, and you got this strap, soft good strap with the, I guess, rag tied around it, sculpted and painted very nicely. Overall, I'm very happy with the accessories that this Batman comes with. So let's go ahead and do a size comparison and call it a day. Alright, folks, size comparison time. And as you can see, I've made a good use of that Ben Affleck head, and I've put it on the regular release Mafex Batman. So these three fit and scale very nicely with each other, which is always an added bonus. I think the Batman head looks good on the regular release. And the Knightmare Batman, just being quite honest with you, is just pretty dang sweet. And then you have the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn over there. So just for fun, one last size comparison. We have the He-Man Ultimate Classics Ram Man. As you can see, Batman is quite a bit smaller than Mr. Ram Man over here. But just for fun, I just wanted to give you guys a different size comparison so you could see what you're up against and how he'll fit in with other action figures in your collection. So, the $1,000,000 question, should you go out and get this figure? That answer is really easy. That answer is yes. Go pick it up. What are you waiting for? I think it's worth the buy just in the accessories alone. But only if you collected those other figures. Now, if you didn't collect those other figures, well, then, you know, it's probably not worth it. But as a standalone figure, I do think it's worth it. So, that's my opinion. I pre-ordered mine on Big Bad Toy Store. They are sold out right now, but I believe they're getting some in later on in August. So, keep checking over there. So, that's going to do it for the review, folks. As always, thank you for the love and support. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't be afraid to leave a comment, too. I like interacting with people. I've met a couple people on here doing this now, and I appreciate the love and support. Go check out our sponsors. Go check out Extreme Dash Sets, the awesome diorama I'm using here. You can pick up that and many more over there. Like I said, Big Bad Toy Store for all your toy and collectible needs. You like podcasting? You like geek stuff? Head over to undercovercapes.com for all geekery needs, be it Marvel, DC, indie, movie reviews, and video games. And if you enjoy doing toy photography, use the hashtag ToyLoverCrew, and don't be afraid to throw a follow at ToyLoverCrew on Instagram. As always, thank you so much. Stay tuned at the end for the slideshow. And until next time, great googly moogly.